Hi, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday morning. I usually don't do this on Saturday because I'm usually a lizard, a carrot, a vegetable on a Saturday. But this is a special occasion. We are about 20 days out from my fifth annual Level Up retreat. And if you are in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Hammond, anywhere in Southeast Louisiana, I encourage you to set aside some time, invest in yourself, because this is a very powerful experience. I've been doing this since 2020. The very first one, informal one, was by myself inside the Baton Rouge Marriott. I was in transition yet again, and I just needed some time. I was living with my parents. They're wonderful people, but at some point I needed to get myself together to figure out what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? So I think that was 2019, 2018. I did my very first one. I didn't have much money. I found some hotel points, get away as far as my money could take me, and that was to Baton Rouge. And I went to, I grabbed some snacks. I didn't make a plan, but I did bring my butcher paper, my journal, tape, and markers, and that's all I had. I put a butcher paper all over the hotel room, and I labeled it in different buckets of my life, me personally, my career, my business. And that time, I published a book. I relaunched my nonprofit. I did a lot of things, and it actually set me up for my last formal job because I did all those things. I got myself together, did all those things. I was made attractive on the job market and attracted one of the best jobs that I had. So getting in a space where you can reflect and plan personally is something as women of color we don't do. We always really talk. We do everything for everybody else. We plan for church, we plan for sorority, we plan for community events, we plan on our jobs, but we don't plan for ourselves. And so that next year I was like, I need my friends to do this because this is great. I need to open this up. And so again, like I need a hole in my head, I hosted an event. It was really, really great. I did have expectations of like 20, 25 women in a room. And then I had 10, super grateful for that. But then the experience that came out of that let me know that small, safe spaces for women of color to be themselves, be authentic, and to plan, network, and bounce ideas, multi generations, people in different places, different roles. We all had such a great time. It was a time that we could release whatever we needed to, laugh when we needed to, cry when we needed to. It's mostly joy. But that was experience. And every year I was like, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this again. But here I am 5 years later. Every time blessed me. Every person in a room God put there, and I am truly grateful for every year. But what I'm so grateful for that there's been ladies that's come on the first one when they saw the vision, they came, and they've been coming ever since. I always have new faces in the room. Always pray that I have new faces of people, women who actually need it, need to be a part, need to meet new people are in the room as well. But I am truly grateful for those women who have come almost every year. And when they can't, they will let me know well in advance that they're sad they can't make it. But before I bring on one of the participants that have been coming since year one, I want to take the time out to let you know that I still have some seats available. It is January 26th. That's the optional VIP pajama party, vision board party, little fun, little girl time. And then on Saturdays, the actual retreat from 10 to 3 at the Crown Plaza. I'm always keeping it luxury because nothing else is it can do. So it's always going to be luxury, always going to be in excellence. That is Saturday, 10 to 3. In that space, you can get a lot done. It's a little bit of time, but you can get a lot done the right way, the strategies I present. So go to gracefullyproductive.com slash level up. Actually, it's on the flyer, but I'm actually going to pop that on the screen right now so you can make sure that you have it. GraceReproductive.com, go to the homepage, click on the link, and it will take you to the page where you can learn more about it, what's in the registration, what comes with it, what comes after it, what you can get, where it is, all those details. You can go to GraceReproductive.com on the homepage, click the flyer, and you can get more details and pay for your spot. There's payment plans that's available to you. So I hope that you are looking at this, whether it's live or whether it is later, and you go and you do something good for yourself this year. So I want to introduce my friend Gloria. We met a long time ago at LSU. She's always been a great supporter. We connect a lot of things: Delta, science, higher education, Southern. We have a lot of things in common. So I was very, very excited to have her. When her name popped up on the registration list, I was very excited that she chose to come. So I will let her introduce herself. And I love the title that she put. Gloria, welcome.
Good morning.
So you are a mom and scientist. I love it. What else do you want the people to know about you?
I guess for the purposes of today's conversation, I'm an associate professor at Southern University. I'm a chemist. We do share that. I teach chemistry. I do research and what helps people learn chemistry, especially students in my classes. I'm always trying to figure out how to help them see a difficult subject more clearly. I'm a daughter, a caretaker of my father. I'm an only child. I am a wife. I should mention that. I should put that in the title. We'll edit that out post production, Erin.
So I think it's on the description. I made sure to get your new last name up there.
Yes. Well, I'm also a wife. And number one, I'm a mom. It's a Saturday morning, so I'm kind of in mom mode. So I left the doctor off of the title. I'm feeling more like a mom today than a professor.
Yeah. So Gloria, you came to the first one in 2020. I did not know we were on the edge of the pandemic.
Right. I was thinking back to that time.
Yeah. So yeah, my first one was Level Up 2020, and I had all the, the perfect vision. But what drew you to that first time? When you saw me post it, I think I probably texted you or emailed you. You might saw it on Facebook. What drew you to that experience? It's kind of new novel. I didn't know how to describe it, but yeah, what drew you to that?
I trusted you. I knew you and I trusted you, and it was new. There was no previous retreat to look at. There were no reviews to read on Amazon. There was nothing to tell us exactly what was going to happen, but I knew and I trusted you, and I knew you got it. I knew you understood what professional women, especially women of color, were experiencing in different industries and different walks of life, and so because you got it. I knew you would lead us somewhere.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know going into it. So this is the power of just doing something. God told me to do it. I was scared. I had some expectations, always high, always the perfectionist. But I honestly at that time was like, this feels like me. This feels right. It was very rough, didn't have it's not a lot of decor. It's not a lot of like Instagram worthy pictures. It was just us. And so I appreciate that moment of trusting, because there was a lot of, I had close friends. It was a nice mixture. So some people knew me, and some people knew me as colleagues, and some people knew of me. Sometimes I think it was a couple of friends of friends, or colleagues, friends of colleagues. So I appreciate that part. I think the good part is that you came back. Even though you may like me, you was like, you did but that was good. I'm like, go and do something else this year. But I appreciate you coming back. So I distinctly remember once I shut out of Dr. Wheeler mode and I did the formal survey, and I just shut it down, and I was completely transparent and authentic. And I said, y'all, like, y'all in my safe space, I need your opinion. You did the written survey. And we started to have this conversation of like, what did you really get out of here? And I distinctly remembered clarity. Tell me
Mhm.
more about that moment and what led to that insight.
It wasn't even clarity in any ways that I expected. I thought I was going to come and think a lot about work and think a lot about my profession. I've had some transitions myself, as you know. I thought I was looking for that. And there was one question in particular that you asked, and it was about what we wanted to leave as a legacy that would withstand 100 years. And
Mm.
I started groping for things like, maybe I can start a scholarship in my name. I started thinking about just random, and I thought, nope, that'll be gone in 20 years. Nope, that'll be gone in 30 years. I was thinking about tangible things, and it kind of led me to thinking about financial security and thinking about not just wealth generation, but inheritance and what I could do for my future descendants that would give them a head start at life, some financial security. Now, I can't say that I have become independently wealthy since 2020. I think we would sell out the hotel if that were the case. If I could say that on a live stream, but I didn't even know that that was buried deep in my heart of hearts. Um, that even that thought, and so it brought it to the surface and really gave me some clarity around that.
That's I don't even remember that question. I'm so glad. I'm glad I'm doing this so I can continue to like keep those powerful moments and not lose them. I think that was when we at one of the activities is a mission vision building, and it's
Hmm.
something that I did on my own to help want to just help figure out what I want to do and what I want it to be. And even looking up questions for myself as I journal, I think I kept that activity in. Didn't even know that it will lead to that. You just put some things in that you know is going to be great, but it'll hit people different ways. And
Hmm.
so that I think that came out of the vision piece of asking you. Vision is big, your big picture life. Like that never changes, and I think that came out of one of the questions that kind of prompted you to reflect on what that was. So, yeah, it's a time when we reflect and we think.
And I think even beyond the specific questions, clarity comes in getting in a space and being still and being quiet. And I think you have done a really good balance over the years of keeping a nice balance between this activity where we are laughing and often crying, and mostly in a good way, but we're having all this exchange and interaction, which makes the retreat so wonderful because the mix of people every year brings something, an element to it itself. But we have that, and then we have these times where we are quiet, where we can venture off into the lobby or into a quiet corner to reflect and to think. And I think that's one of the things that I look forward to every January, is knowing that I'm going to get this time and space to think and to be quiet and to seek that clarity. And clarity every year is a little different, like the thing that kind of rises to the cream, to the top of the cream, that says, hey, you've been neglecting this, you need to think about this. But I can't do that in the loud, noisy, busy world that I'm immersed in every day.
And for me, if you don't carve it out, and for
Mhm.
some of us, we need to carve it out. We need to put some money to it. We need to put it on a calendar. We need to get reminded. So even my strategy for marketing this retreat has been super personal. Like I just send out personal texts. If I have your email, like because I know people are a bit busy, and once I know you're interested, I'm like, okay, I can't let this slip through the cracks because I know that'll happen to me. Um, so yeah, just carving out that time. If we don't do it, if we don't have a hook or a prompt or something, we'll always say, oh, I'll journal or I'll do it. And then
Mhm.
it'll be 2025 again. So that's one of the reasons. It's just a prompt. It's just prompting you to think about yourself. If not, it will never do it.
And you're right. We will think of ourselves last. We will take care of everyone else who's sick or shut in. We will say all the prayers, for, when the sorority prayer list for the chapter comes around, we will remember them. We will go out of our way, bend over backwards, set ourselves on fire, but then our own needs, especially our needs, are neglected.
Yeah. And I think it hits you. I know it hits me when I can scroll and I see other people doing things. I'm like, man, if I would have did that 2 years ago, I'd be right where they are now. And it hit it. I just got tired of seeing that. Now that I'm on my path and I'm doing it, it's more of like inspiration. I just like sent a text to one of my mentees from college that she's been doing this coaching thing a lot longer in her retreats. And I was like, you just like inspire me. I don't you inspire me. So now it's more of an inspiration instead of a regret that I didn't do it. And so it's just a flip that you don't see. Like if you keep in this vein of just pushing through and you look back with regret, now I don't have that regret. Now it's the inspiration.
Well, and I think having a sense of what it is you want to achieve also helps. That's where the clarity is so important, because otherwise we get sucked into social media and we get those Instagram quality pictures, as you said. And I'm guilty too. I'm on a cruise and I'm trying to find the right angle for that sunset to post on Facebook. I don't do Instagram, Twitter, or whatever it's known as now. They all move too fast. I'm on the slow lane. I'm on Facebook, but we'll cultivate those pictures for what we want to share with the world. And if you are not careful, you will look at everyone else's carefully curated pictures, which may or may not match their reality, and you get sucked into the envy or the jealousy or the regret, and it may not even be something you really want.
Yep. And you don't know how they got it, which we do talk about the ugly side of planning. Like once you do the pretty vision board, once you get the strategy, what happens when you leave here? How are you going to keep this momentum up? And we talk about what I call the insurance strategies, the ugly side of when life happens and you like so hype, and then I might contact you 3 months later. It's like, girl, this is what happened, and it's like I'm gonna get back on it kind of thing. But we talk about the work that it takes, the mental work that it takes to move past that pretty vision board that most people don't get past, to actually putting these things into action. Not being pretty, not being perfect, but how do you get some consistency towards your goals?
Right. And it's not just the vision board activity on Friday night that we all enjoy and we get a little sister girl music going on in the background. It's also and the work that we do the next day to lay out those details and try to figure out what that execution looks like.
Yeah. So tell me about, you talked about thinking about your finances in a different way. What are some other like breakthroughs, thinking back through the years? What are some other things that have come out of this experience?
2021, I left the retreat with this real focus on resolving a situation. And it was something that I had just kind of let go. I was just kind of ignoring it because, loud, busy world. I'm a mom. I've got a job. I've got all these things tugging at me. And I didn't want to put the mental effort into resolving the situation, to kind of figuring out what it needed to be. And after the retreat in 2021, I left with that clarity. That was the clarity for that year. And it really helped me kind of move past, all right, I don't have time to think about this. Oh, it'll resolve itself. Nothing ever resolves itself. Nothing really important and complex, or at least it may not resolve in the way you want it to resolve. And so I know 2021 distinctly, as I was looking forward to this conversation this morning, I was just kind of smiling to myself thinking, yep, that kind of moved me along. And often
Yeah.
it's the accountability. Like you said, there are often the same core women there. They're often new faces, and it's always lovely to meet those new people at the table. But I don't want to go to the retreat again and tell these ladies, yeah, in 2024, I really want to girl, you were saying this is 2020. What you gonna do about it? So I know 2021, it was that particular circumstance that I wanted to get some resolution to, and I did. I think there have been other times that I really wanted to focus on my mom experience. Reading was one in particular because, like you said, we started 2020, had no idea what was coming in March, just a couple of months away. And my daughter sat out from March to November 1st. She went back to school on November 1st. And because she had just turned 3, I
Oh,
mean, she was a brand new 3-year-old when we had
it's
that
been a
first
long
retreat.
time.
Yes. Um, Later, her gifted testing got delayed. And so by the time she went back to school in November, we had opened our home again, or we were venturing outside. My dad had COPD, so we took a lot of precaution that first year. But she went back to school November 1st because she didn't do as well on the gifted testing as her teachers thought she would, you know, 7 months prior. She scored high on, I'm going to forget all the right words. You educator can help me. On She scored low on academic achievement. She scored high on cognitive ability. And what
Mm,
academic achievement meant for a 3-year-old is recognizing letters and numbers. So she's about to turn 4. She's just going back into school after the severe lockdown, and she wasn't scoring well on letters and numbers. And so 2 months later, in January, 2 or 3 months later, we had our retreat. Um, we had all those precautions. You remember with us with our masks, and you had spaced us around the room. We took every precaution. I thought, I've got to get my daughter where she needs to be. This is what's called. This is what the moment is calling me to do. So, Erin, last month she was student of the month at her
yay.
school. I won't say it online. Um, she got an ELA award in August. And her teacher, just yesterday, when I was picking her up from school, her English teacher, ELA teacher, said to me, they're about to take the DEEBL, I think that's how you say it, the DEEBL assessment next week. And Ella's doing better than anyone else in her class on letter blends. So here's what we're going to continue to work on before the test. But Erin, if I hadn't had the clarity to slow down and say back in 2021, my child has had this big educational delay due to the pandemic. What do I need to do? Um, and so that year, I really buckled down in reading. We read every night. Dr. Charmaine Rutledge. I had my cousin
Mhm.
Charmaine came over and read with my daughter as well. But having clarity, right? Not just letting the challenges that we need to step up to slide right past us, missing our moment to have an impact on the things that are important to us.
Yeah, so I remember that time. I remember that time, and I remember you coming back, and I just saw you made a big announcement, and but I saw the glow and the heaviness came back from that, and I was like,
Yeah, because
that's
you
what I
know.
live for. Yeah, but so we do get granular. By the end of the retreat, my goal is to have a plan from vision all the way down to daily tasks, daily to-do list,
Mm-hmm.
a monthly like that goal. But I also offer one-to-one. I think we had a one-to-one coaching session after. We just kind of brainstormed together about how do you shift schedules. I don't know if you're at your new job or not, but I just remember having a conversation of it's a little powerful moment. So
Yeah.
how do we carve out a time? What's the best time? How do you protect it? And it was just a little just brainstorming just to make it real that really let you uh, integrate into your life for some consistency. And I'm so glad that paid off and you can actually see how that little bit of time, just a little bit of effort, that taking a chance, doing something new, doing something, everybody has to like push things out of the way, babysitters, arrange things, like how that can really make a difference in your life, but also in your family's life.
I love what you said in the intro and the lead up in making a very small investment. It's a small investment in money. I mean, the money is the money. If you got a light bill to pay, honey, pay that light bill, get that mortgage paid, because we don't do that kind of pass the jar at the retreat. But so the money is the money. It is an investment, right? And the time, because I remember thinking, where am I going to get a day? Like, I got to get a babysitter, right? I've got to, if I'm going to go stay at the hotel or do the Friday night at the hotel and all day Saturday, we're just getting back into school. Both she is and I am too. But that day, that 1 day investment, 1 day out of the next 365, the next year that we're trying to plan and to harness, that 1 day investment is small in the grand scheme of things. So I
Yeah.
love the way you frame that as an investment, because investments, good investments, give you a return on that investment, far more than what the value of that initial payment was.
Yeah. And in this business, I'm working to make that mm, the return on investment more tangible. But I do think hearing from other people like you to say, this is how it's impacted me, and this is what the return on investment really looks like. It's not gonna, I'm not a millionaire yet to myself. I'm not going to promise that you'll be a millionaire, but I do guarantee that if you start somewhere with accountability, that clarity, a strategy, some tactics, and consistency, you would get on the path to where you want to be. And even just getting on the path is such a relief and feels good. Like when I got on the path, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew what I didn't. I knew where I wanted to be. I knew who I was. All of that, I felt better mentally and emotionally to take on anything that may have come my way. So that's a guarantee that I make. I can't guarantee you too many other things, but I do guarantee that you will have the you will have a relief, some insight into where you want to go, and a direction, a strategy or action plan to get to that path to where you want to be.
Well, the inspiration that you said you gained from your mentee, you share with us because of your authenticity, because you took the initiative and got past whatever fear might have been there to have that first one and then to have the second one. And just watching you grow in the space and get really enthused and excited and confident about what you're doing has been inspirational to us too. So thank you for being as authentic as you are. And I will say that first retreat, I knew you. I knew you more from professional circles. We had worked for the same boss, but not at the same time. And we have a lot of close confidants in common. So I wasn't inner circle when I came to the retreat that first time. And it
Mhm.
was just profound in the ways that our relationship grew from there and in what I was still able to get out of that experience. And a lot of the ladies that I met that first year, I didn't know before, but so you don't have to have like this inner circle. It's not just Erin and her friends. It is cultivated for Erin and people like Erin, women like Erin, who have something, some seed they want to protect and germinate and grow and feed. So I did want to make that point.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for bringing that up because I really wanted to have, like, as you're planning goals, there's goals on your sheet that I may know that I may have already accomplished that I can say, no, no, no. You're thinking you need to do all of this. Start this is cut all this out. Start here. Or somebody may have some other advice on building a business or something, and we shared. There was a like a, oh no, I can send you that, I can connect you to this person,
Mhm.
start here. It was a way to just take each other's knowledge because everybody was an expert in something or experiencing something. We all shared. I wasn't the expert in a room on all strategies. I can't strategize on being a mom, but there were moms in a room that said, hey, I know what you're feeling, I know what you're doing, I've tried this, don't worry about it. Some may have older kids, younger kids. That knowledge was exchanged. Some people may have been new in the business, want to start a business, have already been successful. They exchanged that knowledge. Everybody was in different places, but everybody shared. And so we had this collective information to where we didn't have to waste our time afterwards trying to figure it all out because we already had some knowledge in the room.
Yeah, that collective wisdom is, if you could put us all together, all the experiences, all the wisdom, all the insights, the creativity in that room, man,
We can do big things.
we
We
can
have
do
done
big
big things.
things. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully I can have some more people. There's been books and businesses and doctorates that came out. I'm trying to think of some other people, some
Yeah.
dissertations that are finished, that are being finished, some career transitions. All of that has come out of there. My last question to you: if you were to make a commercial or a pitch to your circle of saying why they need to be at Level Up Retreat 2024, what would it be? As a mom, as a caretaker, as a professional, as a wife, sorority, you got sorority duties. What would you say to encourage people to go ahead and get their registration in?
I have already made that pitch over text messages and conversations. Girl, you need this. You need this. We talk about this all the time. Just do it. You need this just as much as I need this. Just do it.
Yes. And I just have a comment from Christy Dyson Landrew. She's my big sister and mentor, and she also sponsored my retreat. Shout out Simply Greek. He's still my sponsor. She enjoyed the retreat when I participated. I definitely pushed to complete the items from my vision board, and I'm still executing on those choices today. So I definitely was honored to have her there. She's been doing big things, and she just needed a space to just think. She was busy. I was glad I was able to create a space for people who are bosses and business leaders to just have space. Sometimes you get tired of being the boss in a room and a
Right.
leader in the room. Sometimes you just want to fall back and do you.
There were two women in particular that I wanted to be at the retreat this year, and I knew they would get so much out of it. We try to do these things for each other through the year, these moments of no slow down and asking these questions of each other. But both of them are attending the same event that's been years in the planning. So they will not be here this year, but I'm making the commitment to bringing them next year.
Well, thank you, Gloria, or Dr. Gloria, on the Saturday. Thank you so much for doing this and carving out the time to share with other ladies and your insight. And you can be on here next year if you register to attend the annual productivity retreat. It's small, intimate. I'm expanding just a little bit. I'm opening up 15 slots. Actually, that 15 includes me, but if there's 16 people, I'll definitely let you in the room. So it's small, intimate. If you're an introvert like me, super overwhelmed, it's not one of those conferences. I promise you, it's the introverts paradise. It's the extroverts paradise too. Because I definitely have some extroverts who need to like be quiet, sit still, and think. So I have a little bit of something for everybody. January 26th, get your registration in. It's limited slots. If I'm telling you to do it now, but I promise you, you won't be let down. This is a great investment in yourself, in your future. If you want to change and transform your life past your vision board, if you've been planning some things 3 years in a row that hadn't happened, get to this event. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. So thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful, warm, dry Saturday. That means I guess stay in if that's the case. But I hope you have a great rest of the week. Bye bye.